What's going on, everyone? So, Maxi Kleber appears to be kind of inching his way back for a potential return. My guess is he probably wouldn't come back by the first round. I think they'll let him kind of ramp up, see what they got here. But maybe a potential second round return, or maybe at some point in the first round. It's just my guess. I think the Lakers will try to get through the first round, let him kind of continue to gear up, continue to ramp up, not have to rush or force him back, and then. If he's ready and available for the second round, if the Lakers get past the second round, which they will, Lakers in 5, but nonetheless, out of courtesy, right? As much as I want to be like, Lakers are about to run through Minnesota. Minnesota is a good team. They're going to be tough. Right? It's probably going to be a very hard-fought series. But Maxi Kleber at some point, he could be very useful and valuable in this Minnesota series. If we could get him back for the Minnesota series, that would be great. The thing is, though, something you got to keep in mind, Lakers kind of have their idea and vision and have kind of worked all season, since the Luka trade, really, and through this week that they're going to have to really build what their plan is, not just for the Minnesota series, but just going forward, right? Small ball lineups, right? Like Luka's this guy and LeBron's doing this and Reeves is responsible for this. And hey, Vando, this is your job. And you get what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that is being prepped for this series, obviously, because you got to get through this series to get to the next one, but just to build their identity, to build the understanding of what they want from this team. And they've been working on it and building that chemistry, the small ball units, all those things, for this hopefully deep playoff run. I believe they'll go on a deep playoff run, but point is that, problem is Maxi Kleber, where does he kind of slot in? Where does he fit, if at all? He hasn't played in months. Yes, he has familiarity with Luka, doesn't really have familiarity with anyone else, right? Now, I'm not saying that you don't try to throw him out there and give him spots, but to think that he's going to come in and be a real rotation piece, think that he's going to come in and play a big, a significant role or something, probably unlikely. I do think him healthy. I do think him, kind of in rhythm and what he can bring and provide, I think could be huge, right? Like I talked about it before, right? Like Maxi Kleber is a guy that I could see changing the outcome of a game or maybe even a series, right? He's a guy that gives you that size on the interior, but also a guy that can stretch the floor. So for example, playing Minnesota, he'd be great against Rudy Gobert because he has, the size. He's like 240, 250, right? But he also can stretch the floor, knock down the three ball, and have to pull out Rudy Gobert to have to go out and defend. Plus, he can block the occasional shot, right? Like, he is a very good player. He's not this superstar, this guy. He's not a guy that's oh, Max Kleber's back. Lakers now the best team. Forget Boston, forget OKC. It's all about the Lakers. No, but he is a guy that can be, again, a difference maker, hit a key shot, grab a keyboard, play a specific role, and just gives us a look that we don't have as far as the big men go, right? A guy that you can run pick and pop sets and actions with, right? A guy that can stretch the floor, but also you can give the ball on the inside. He can help rebound. He's got the size and all that, right? He is a very good basketball player. He's one of those guys that you just watch and you're like, man, that guy is he understands his role, he knows his role, and he's just a good, solid basketball player. He's not going to do too much. He's not going to try to get too carried away. It's nothing like that, right? He's a guy that's just going to come in and be able to have impacts in, several facets of the game, right? And we need as many of those guys as possible. But I don't think and see the Lakers rushing to get Maxi Kleber back. Oh, he's, we got to get him back so he can play 20 minutes or anything like that. I think if anything, if he does come back this series, probably be little small incremental spots, right? Here's 8 minutes here, maybe 12 minutes this game. If he's caught some fire, right? He's now 2 or 3 from 3. So let's keep him out there for another minute and look, if we're being honest, he can't be much worse than Alex Len, right? Alex Len, I tried to give him an opportunity. I tried to, when he had his first game and he was poor, I said, hey, let's give him a couple games. Let's see how he looks, right? Before we just go, he's trash. Let's get him off the team. But unfortunately, we've had that couple games. We've had those handful of games, and he just still has not been what this team needs. So yes, to get a guy like a Maxi Kleber would be huge in that area because it just gives us another big body kind of that we could use on the interior. But also, again, I don't think he's going to play a big role. But even if he was fully healthy, chances are the Lakers are probably still going to run small ball, right? Because their best unit is the Luka, Reeves, Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron five. Those five guys, I mean, that's their death lineup, right? That's the lineup that is probably going to make or break us on whether we can win a championship or not. Like, that's the lineup that, we're riding to the promised land or probably going home. So even if Maxi Kleber was to come back, hit stride, get healthy, I still don't really see him playing. Like, I don't see him being a 30-minute a game guy. I think he'll probably be maybe 15, if that. Like, maybe he'll kind of split time with Jackson Hayes, where Hayes is playing 14 minutes, Kleber's playing 14 minutes, and then you're going small ball the rest. That's an extra 20 minutes, probably, my guess, probably how I would approach it. Unless Kleber, because with his ability to stretch the floor, he would make sense in kind of that small ball, because he's a guy that would actually give you size. I don't really know if you classify that as small ball at that point, but no, you could still run 5-out action, right? So you could still have Kleber out on the perimeter as your catch and shoot 3-point shooter alongside, Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui Hachimura and Luka Doncic and LeBron James, or however you want to approach it, right? Like, you could still, like, he just gives you a bigger, 5-out type of offense rather than, where you're going with Rui, LeBron, Dorian as like your front court. It's medium sized, right? But it's not. You lack that big interior size. Where at least Kleber, he can give you some of that big interior size. He's tough. Like, he's not a guy that, shies away from contact or anything like that. He's a guy that can get in there and fight and, bang with the big boys and do all those things. But, he's more of that offensive oriented guy, right? Even defensively, he's not this like absolute clamps defender. He can move well, shuffle, slide his feet, kind of stay in front of guys. Not a guy you want on an island, right? If Luka just gets blown by or something, now Maxi Kleber's got to defend and stay in front of guys. Like, that's probably not great. But as just kind of the help defender, he kind of funnel guys. He can kind of clean it up, right? Because he's big, long, lengthy. I would prefer him over, you go Jackson Hayes and probably Kleber. I'd probably prefer that. But, chances are the Lakers are going to be what we believe them to be. Jackson Hayes, 14, 15 minutes, and then the rest is just different variations of small ball. Pull Rudy Gobert off the floor, or if they want to keep him on the floor, you just go at him, put him in all the actions, get him out in space, make him have to move and laterally move and stay in front of guys. Put him, just constantly put the pressure on him and put him in the blender, right? And, if they pull him off the court, then that just benefits you, right? Because now they don't have that rim protection. You got guys like LeBron James who could just give me the ball, put my head down, and get to the basket, right? Where, if he is on the court, it kind of, you're spreading out. It's going to boil down to guys hitting shots, right? You need Rui Hachimura to knock down shots. You need Dorian Finney-Smith to knock down shots, right? You need Gabe Vincent and all these guys. If we're hitting shots, it's going to make it harder for them to have Rudy Gobert on the court. But if Rui and Doe are, 2 of 10 from 3-point range collectively, well, then, they'll live with that. We're not being punished enough to where we can take Rudy Gobert off the court, right? Rui's 0 of 3. They're going to look at it as like he's not going to get another 10 3-point attempts. Even if we leave him wide open, he's not going to get another 10 3-point attempts. So just let him kind of be the guy. And if he starts heating up, then we'll make the adjustment and figure it out. Where Kleber is a guy that can at least give you more of that, right? Which I like. Because he's the guy that can come in and give you more of that floor spacing, guy that can hit shots. He's not like this like elite, career 42% three-point shooter, but he is a guy, especially for a big man, that is very good at shooting the three ball. He can do it on volume. He can be a little streaky, right? He's a guy that, like, you'll see at times is really hot and cold. He's either lights out or he's kind of like, it can be a little inconsistent knocking down the three ball. But those games where he's just, playing in the Lakers, he's had games where he's gone and, like, giving us 30. So he's a guy, again, that I could see being the difference maker in a game or series, just in key spots here and there, especially when in later rounds and maybe even the Minnesota round where, a series a lot of times comes down to just, little moments, little key, here's a rebound, here's this, here's that. And then, all of a sudden you look up, right? Denver series where Aaron Gordon grabs the offensive rebound, kicks it out to Michael Porter Jr. He knocks down the three ball. It completely changed the game. The game was, it changed the series, right? All of a sudden we get blitzed out, losing 5. You win that game, it's a completely different series, right? Like, those are the differences. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel what your thoughts. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. It helps me a lot. As we enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.